The medical bay of the New Harmony was quiet except for the soft beeping of machines. Lisa Martinez lay on the narrow bed, holding her newborn son against her chest. The baby was so small, so perfect, with tiny fingers that curled around her thumb. She had named him Danny, after her grandfather who used to sing old songs to her when she was young. Maya sat in a chair beside the bed, watching her mother and new baby brother. At 12 years old, she was tall for her age with dark hair like her mother and curious brown eyes. She had been waiting for this moment for months, ever since her mother told her she would have a little brother. "Can I hold him?" Maya asked softly. Lisa smiled and carefully passed the baby to her daughter. Maya had practiced with dolls, but holding a real baby was different. Danny was warm and moved slightly in her arms. His eyes were closed, but she could see his chest rising and falling with each tiny breath. The New Harmony was a massive ship, carrying 50,000 people through space to a new world called Kepler 442b. Most of the people were sleeping in special pods that would keep them safe during the long journey. Only a few thousand were awake at any time to run the ship and take care of problems. Lisa was one of the officers who stayed awake. She worked in communications, making sure all the ship's systems could talk to each other. Her husband Rick was the captain, but he was currently sleeping in one of the pods. He would not wake up for another 6 months. Lisa wished he could be here to see their son, but the ship's schedule could not be changed. Dr. Amanda Clark entered the medical bay, checking the readings on her tablet. She was a kind woman with gray hair and gentle hands. She had delivered many babies on the ship, but each one was special. "How are you feeling, Lisa?" Dr. Clark asked. "Tired, but happy," Lisa replied. "When can we go back to our quarters?" "Tomorrow morning, if everything looks good. The baby's vitals are perfect." Dr. Clark looked at Maya holding Danny. "You're a natural with him." Maya beamed with pride. She had read books about taking care of babies and had asked Dr. Clark many questions during her mother's pregnancy. She wanted to be the best big sister she could be. As the hours passed, Maya noticed something strange about her baby brother. When the room was noisy with alarms and beeping machines, Danny would cry and seem upset. But when she hummed softly to him, he would calm down immediately. Even more interesting, when she sang, the machines around them seemed to work better. The beeping became more regular, and the lights stopped flickering. Lisa had fallen asleep, exhausted from giving birth. Maya continued to hold Danny and sing quietly. She knew many songs, but her favorite was an old one called Hallelujah. Her father had taught it to her, and his father had taught it to him. It was a song that made people feel peaceful and happy. As Maya sang Hallelujah, something amazing happened. The baby opened his eyes for the first time and looked right at her. His eyes were bright and seemed much older than a newborn should be. The machines in the room started working perfectly, with no unusual sounds or blinking lights. Down in the ship's engine room, Chief Engineer Pete Johnson noticed that all his systems were running more smoothly than they had in weeks. Power flow was steady, and the computers were processing data faster than normal. He checked his instruments twice, but could not find any reason for the improvement. In the communications center, Officer Jane Smith saw that her equipment was picking up signals more clearly than ever before. The background noise that usually made her job difficult had almost disappeared. She made notes in her log, but could not explain what was happening. Maya did not know about these changes happening throughout the ship. She was focused on her baby brother, who continued to stare at her with those bright, intelligent eyes. She felt a connection with him that was stronger than anything she had ever experienced. It was as if they could understand each other without words. Dr. Clark returned to check on her patients and found Maya still holding the baby. "You should get some rest too," she said gently. "He likes it when I sing," Maya said. "Look, he's been awake and calm this whole time." Dr. Clark was surprised. Newborn babies usually slept most of the time, especially after a difficult birth like Lisa had experienced. But Danny was alert and seemed to be listening to his sister's voice. "That's unusual, but not harmful," Dr. Clark said. "Some babies are more aware than others. Just make sure you get some sleep yourself." After Dr. Clark left, Maya continued to sit with Danny. She sang softly and watched as he seemed to respond to different songs. When she sang happy songs, lights in the room seemed brighter. When she sang sad songs, they dimmed slightly. It was probably just her imagination, but it felt real. Lisa woke up a few hours later and found Maya still holding the baby. "Sweetheart, you need to sleep too." "I will, Mom, but I think Danny is special. When I sing to him, everything around us works better." Lisa looked at her daughter with concern. The stress of having a new baby and living on a spaceship far from Earth was hard on everyone, especially children. "What do you mean?" Maya tried to explain what she had noticed, but it sounded silly when she said it out loud. "Never mind. I'm probably just tired." But Lisa had noticed something too. During her pregnancy, she had felt strange sometimes, as if the baby inside her was aware of things around them. And today, after Danny was born, she felt more connected to the ship systems than ever before. As a communications officer, she worked with computers and machines every day, but now she could almost feel them working. That night, as Maya slept in the small bed next to her mother and baby brother, she had vivid dreams. She saw stars and planets and heard music that seemed to come from space itself. In her dreams, Danny was older and could speak. He told her that he had important work to do and that she would help him. When she woke up, Maya remembered the dreams clearly. She looked at Danny sleeping peacefully in his small bed and wondered what the future would bring. She did not know that far away, alien beings had detected something unusual about their ship. She did not know that her baby brother would change everything for humanity. All she knew was that she loved him completely and would always protect him, no matter what happened. 3 days had passed since Danny was born, and Maya had barely left his side. She carried him everywhere, singing softly while her mother rested and recovered. The other crew members smiled when they saw the young girl with her baby brother. But they did not know about the strange things that happened when she sang Dr. Amanda. Clark had been watching the baby carefully. Something about Danny bothered her, though she could not explain what it was. His brain scans showed activity that did not match any normal newborn she had ever seen. The patterns looked more like those of a much older child, someone who was thinking and learning at an incredible speed. In her private office, Dr. Clark looked at the test results again. Danny's neural pathways were forming connections faster than should be possible. His brain was processing information in ways that medical science said could not happen in a baby only 3 days old. Maya knocked on the office door, holding Danny in her arms. "Dr. Clark, my mom is sleeping, and I wanted to ask you something." "Come in, dear. What's on your mind?" Maya sat down carefully, making sure Danny was comfortable. "Is it normal for babies to understand things? I mean, really understand, not just hear sounds?" Dr. Clark leaned forward. This was exactly what she had been wondering about. "What makes you think Danny understands things?" "When I sing different songs, he reacts differently. And when I sing Hallelujah, something happens to the machines around us. They work better. The lights get brighter, and the computers make different sounds." Dr. Clark had heard reports from other departments about improved system performance over the past few days, but she had not connected it to the baby. "Show me what you mean." Maya began to hum Hallelujah softly. Within moments, Dr. Clark's computer screen became clearer and brighter. The medical equipment in the room stopped making the small buzzing sounds they usually made. Even the lights seemed more stable. Danny opened his eyes and looked directly at Dr. Clark. For a moment, the doctor felt as if the baby was studying her, learning about her. His eyes held an intelligence that should not exist in someone so young. "My goodness," Dr. Clark whispered. She checked her instruments and found that everything was working at peak efficiency. "Maya, I need you to promise me something. Don't show this to anyone else yet. Let me do some more tests first. Maya nodded. She trusted Dr. Clark and could tell that something important was happening far away from the New Harmony. In a place between stars, alien beings had been watching the human ship for weeks. They called themselves the Confederation of Worlds, and they had been studying different species for thousands of years. Most species they watched eventually destroyed themselves or became too boring to monitor. Observer Zeth9 was in charge of watching the humans. He looked like a tall, thin person, but his skin was silver and his eyes were much larger than human eyes. He had been studying the readings from the human ship when something unusual caught his attention. The ship was giving off quantum signatures that matched old stories from his people's history. These stories spoke of a species called the Harmonic Ones, beings who could connect with technology and space itself through natural vibrations. Most of his people thought these were just myths, old tales with no truth behind them, but the readings from the human ship were real. Something on that vessel was creating harmonics that could change the basic forces of space around it. Zeth9 had to report this to the High Council immediately. Back on the New Harmony, Lisa had returned to her work in the communication center. She felt stronger after her rest, but something was different. The computers and machines around her seemed more responsive, as if they were listening to her thoughts. When she needed information, it appeared on her screens faster than before. When she wanted to send messages, the signals traveled clearer and stronger. Officer Jane Smith noticed the changes too. Lisa, have you done something to the communication array? Everything has been working perfectly for days now. Lisa shook her head. I haven't changed anything. Maybe the ship's systems are just settling into a better pattern. But Lisa suspected the truth was connected to her baby son. Maya had told her about the strange things that happened when she sang to Danny. Lisa had not believed it at first, but now she was experiencing similar improvements in her own work. Chief Engineer Pete Johnson called a meeting with his senior staff. I don't understand what's happening, but our power efficiency has improved by 15% over the past 3 days. All systems are running smoother than they have since we left Earth. I've checked everything twice, and I can't find any mechanical reason for the improvement. His team looked puzzled. Improvements like this didn't just happen without cause. Ships in space usually have more problems over time, not fewer. That evening, Maya sat with her mother and baby brother in their small living quarters. Lisa had brought work home with her, but she found it hard to concentrate. Every time Maya sang to Danny, the computers in their room worked better. Maya, I need to ask you something serious, Lisa said. When you sing to Danny, do you feel anything unusual? Maya thought carefully before answering. It's like we're connected somehow. When I sing, I can feel him listening, but not just with his ears. It's like he understands the music in a way that goes deeper than hearing. And when that happens, everything around us seems to work the way it's supposed to work. Lisa picked up Danny and held him close. Looking into his bright eyes, she felt the same connection Maya described. It was as if her baby son was aware of things no infant should understand. Mom, are we in trouble? Maya asked. I don't know, sweetheart. But whatever is happening, we need to be very careful about who we tell. Some people might want to study Danny instead of just letting him be our baby. Maya moved closer to her mother and brother. I won't let anyone hurt him. Lisa smiled at her daughter's fierce protectiveness. We'll figure this out together. For now, let's just love him and learn what we can. As night fell on the ship, the Martinez family stayed close together. None of them knew that Observer Zeth9 had convinced the Confederation High Council to send a probe to investigate their ship. The probe was already traveling through space toward them, carrying sensors that could detect the quantum harmonics coming from baby Danny. The peaceful days of discovery were about to end, and the Martinez family would soon face challenges that would test their love and determination in ways they never imagined. 2 weeks had passed since Danny's birth, and Maya had learned to understand her baby brother in ways that amazed even her. She discovered that different songs made different things happen around the ship. When she sang happy songs, the lights became brighter and the air felt fresher. When she sang gentle lullabies, the ship's engines ran more quietly and smoothly. But Hallelujah was still the most powerful song. When Maya sang it while holding Danny, magical things happened throughout the new harmony. Broken equipment would start working again. Computer systems would find solutions to problems that had puzzled engineers for days. Even the food in the cafeteria seemed to taste better. Maya kept a secret notebook where she wrote down what happened with each song she sang. She was careful to hide it from everyone except her mother. The notebook was filled with observations, like sang Amazing Grace for 10 minutes, water recycling system, efficiency up 12%, and hum Danny Boy during nap time. Navigation computers found shortcut to save 3 days of travel. Lisa had returned to full duty in the communications center, but she made sure Maya and Danny were never alone for long periods. She had started teaching Maya advanced mathematics and physics during their free time. To her surprise, Maya understood concepts that most adults found difficult. It was as if Danny's presence was making his sister smarter too. Dr. Clark had been running secret tests on Danny when his family brought him for regular checkups. The results were becoming more incredible each day. The baby's brain was developing at impossible speeds. Neural pathways that normally took months to form were appearing in days. But even more strange, Danny seemed to be creating new types of brain connections that had never been seen before. "Lisa, I need to speak with you privately," Dr. Clark said after Danny's latest examination. They stepped into her office while Maya played with Danny in a waiting area. Dr. Clark showed Lisa the brain scans on her computer screen. "Your son's brain activity is unlike anything in medical history. He's not just developing faster than normal babies. He's developing in ways that shouldn't be possible. These neural patterns suggest he can process multiple streams of information simultaneously and make connections between seemingly unrelated systems." Lisa studied the colorful images on the screen. "What does this mean for Danny? Is he sick? Is he in danger?" "I don't think he's sick. I think he's evolving." "But Lisa, if the wrong people find out about this, they might want to study him like a laboratory specimen instead of treating him like your child." Lisa felt a chill of fear. Who else knows about these tests? "Just me for now. But I can't keep hiding the results forever. The ship's medical database automatically copies all test results to Earth. Eventually, someone will notice the unusual patterns." That evening, Lisa told Maya about Dr. Clark's discoveries. Maya listened carefully, holding Danny in her arms. The baby seemed to be listening too, his bright eyes moving between his mother and sister as they talked. "So Danny really is special," Maya said. "I knew it from the first day. But Mom, I've been noticing something else. When I sing to him, I feel smarter. Like I can understand things I never could before." Lisa had noticed this too. In the past 2 weeks, she had solved communication problems that had puzzled her for months. Her work performance had improved dramatically, and she found herself understanding technical concepts that had always been difficult. "I think Danny's abilities are affecting both of us," Lisa said. "We're becoming connected to him in some way." Maya smiled down at her baby brother. "That's okay with me. I like feeling this connected to him." Far away from the new harmony, the Confederation probe had been traveling for days. Observer Zeph-9 watched its progress on his monitoring station. The probe carried the most advanced sensors the Confederation had ever built, designed to study the quantum harmonics coming from the human ship. Zeph-9 had reported his findings to the High Council, but their response had been divided. Some council members wanted to study the humans peacefully. Others wanted to capture the source of the harmonics for their own use. A few believed the humans should be destroyed before they became too powerful. The council had given Zeph-9 permission to make first contact, but they also sent a battle fleet to follow behind the probe. They wanted to be ready for any possibility. Back on the New Harmony, Chief Engineer Pete Johnson was having the best weeks of his career. Every system on the ship was running perfectly. Problems that should have taken days to solve were fixing themselves. Equipment that had been failing was suddenly working like new. Pete called his friend Lisa Martinez to thank her. "I don't know what you did to the communication systems, but whatever it was, it's helping everything else too. We're running at peak efficiency across all departments." Lisa felt guilty for not telling Pete the truth, but she had promised Dr. Clark to keep Danny's abilities secret for now. "I'm glad everything is working well, Pete." "Working well?" "Lisa, yesterday we had a problem with the main navigation computer. It was about to crash completely, which would have been a disaster. Then suddenly, around lunchtime, it started working perfectly. Not just fixed, but better than it ever worked before. It was like the computer learned how to heal itself." Lisa realized that lunchtime was exactly when Maya had been singing Hallelujah to Danny in the nursery. The baby's influence was reaching much further through the ship than they had realized. That night, Maya had a vivid dream. She saw the New Harmony surrounded by strange lights in space. In her dream, Danny was older and could talk. He told her that visitors were coming and that she would need to help him communicate with them. He said the visitors would be scared at first, but that music could help them understand that humans meant no harm. Maya woke up with tears in her eyes. The dream had felt completely real. She looked over at Danny sleeping in his small bed and whispered, "Don't worry, little brother. I'll always protect you, and I'll help you with whatever you need to do." The next morning, the ship's sensors detected something unusual in space ahead of them. A small object was approaching the New Harmony at incredible speed. It was too small to be another ship, but too large to be natural space debris. Captain Stevens, who was in command while Rick Martinez remained in hibernation, called an emergency meeting. "We have an unidentified object approaching our position. All departments should prepare for possible first contact protocols." Lisa felt her heart pounding. Maya's dream suddenly seemed like more than just imagination. She hurried to the nursery where Maya was feeding Danny his bottle. "Maya, I think the visitors from your dream are coming." Maya looked up at her mother with serious eyes. "Then we need to be ready to help Danny talk to them. He's going to need us more than ever." The Confederation probe continued its approach to the New Harmony, carrying instruments that would soon detect the source of the quantum harmonics. But the probe also carried something else, a message of greeting from Observer Zeth-9, who hoped that first contact with humanity would be peaceful. The Martinez family did not know that their quiet life aboard the New Harmony was about to change forever. The alien probe reached the New Harmony 3 hours after the ship's sensors first detected it. Captain Stevens had ordered all departments to go to yellow alert, which meant everyone should be ready for something unusual, but not necessarily dangerous. The probe was small, about the size of a car, and it did not seem to have any weapons. Maya sat in the nursery with Danny, but she could feel that something was wrong. Her baby brother was fussing and crying more than usual. Every time she tried to sing to him, he would calm down for a moment, but then become upset again. The lights in the room were flickering, and the computers were making strange beeping sounds. "Mom, something's bothering Danny," Maya called to Lisa, who was working at her communication station. Lisa looked at her screens and saw that systems throughout the ship were having small problems. Nothing serious, but dozens of minor issues that had not existed an hour ago. "I'm coming," she told Maya. When Lisa entered the nursery, she could see that Danny was truly distressed. His little face was red from crying, and he kept turning his head toward the window that showed the stars outside. It was as if he knew something was out there. "What's wrong with him?" Maya asked, holding Danny close. "I think he can sense the alien probe," Lisa said. "Dr. Clark told me that his brain can process information in ways we don't understand. Maybe he's detecting something from the probe that our instruments can't pick up." Captain Stevens called all senior officers to the bridge for an emergency meeting. Lisa had to attend because she was the head of communications. She left Maya and Danny with Dr. Clark in the medical bay, thinking they would be safer there. On the bridge, Captain Stevens showed the officers images of the alien probe on the main screen. It was a smooth, silver object that seemed to be studying the New Harmony without coming too close. "We've tried standard greeting protocols, Captain," Stevens said. "Radio signals, light patterns, mathematical sequences. The probe acknowledges our attempts, but doesn't respond in any way we can understand." Lisa stared at the probe on the screen. Something about its shape reminded her of the dreams Maya had been having. "Captain, I might have a suggestion, but it's going to sound strange." "At this point, I'm willing to try anything," Captain Stevens replied. Lisa took a deep breath. "My baby son seems to be reacting to the probe's presence. He's been crying since it arrived, and our ship systems have been having minor problems. I think there might be a connection." The other officers looked at Lisa with confusion. How could a baby be connected to an alien probe? "I know it sounds impossible," Lisa continued, "but Danny has some unusual abilities. My daughter has been able to help ship systems work better by singing to him. If the probe is trying to communicate, maybe Danny can help us understand it." "Captain." Stevens was quiet for a moment. He had heard rumors about improvements in ship efficiency, but he had not connected them to the Martinez family. "Bring your children to the bridge. If there's even a small chance they can help, we need to try." Lisa hurried back to the medical bay to get Maya and Danny. Dr. Clark was concerned about bringing a baby to the bridge during a first contact situation, but she agreed to come along to monitor Danny's health dot when they arrived on the bridge. Danny immediately stopped crying. He looked toward the main screen showing the alien probe and made soft cooing sounds. Maya held him carefully and began to hum Hallelujah very quietly. The moment Maya started singing, something amazing happened. The probe on the screen began to glow with a soft, warm light. The ship's communication systems picked up a signal, unlike anything they had ever received before. It was not radio waves or light patterns, but something that seemed to go directly to their minds. "It's trying to talk to us," Lisa said, watching her instruments. "But the signal is too strange for our computers to translate." Maya looked at her baby brother, and she could see that he was listening to something the adults could not hear. His eyes were bright and focused, and he was making small sounds that seemed to match the rhythm of the alien signal. "Danny understands." Maya said. "He's trying to tell me what it means." Maya began to sing Hallelujah more clearly, and as she did, Danny's sounds became more musical. Together, they created a harmony that filled the bridge with beautiful sound. The alien probe's light became brighter, and the signal it was sending became clearer dots suddenly. Everyone on the bridge could understand what the probe was trying to say. The words formed in their minds, not in English, but in pure meaning that they could all comprehend. "Greetings, beings of the traveling world. I am Observer Zeph 9 of the Confederation of Worlds. We have detected the presence of a resonant among you. This is a great and rare gift. We wish to speak with you in peace." Captain Stevens stepped forward. "This is Captain Stevens of the human vessel New Harmony. We are honored by your contact. What is a resonant?" The probe's light flickered as Observer Zeph 9 responded. "A resonant is a being who can harmonize with the fundamental forces of the universe. Your small one possesses this ability. We have traveled far to confirm this. The resonant and those who care for him are precious beyond measure." Maya felt a chill of fear. The alien's words sounded kind, but there was something else behind them. She could sense it through Danny's connection to the probe. The observer was not the only one who knew about her brother. "There are others of my people who believe the resonant should be brought to our worlds for study and protection." Observer Zeph 9 continued. "I have been sent to evaluate the situation and make recommendations to our High Council." Lisa stepped closer to Maya and Danny. "Our son stays with his family. We won't allow anyone to take him from us. Your protective instincts are admirable. The observer replied, "But you do not understand the power your child possesses. In the wrong hands, a resonant could be used to destroy worlds. In the right hands, he could help heal the damage that threatens our entire galaxy." Captain Stevens looked at the Martinez family. "What kind of damage?" "Our galaxy is dying," Observer Zeph-9 explained. "The spaces between stars are becoming unstable. Planets are losing their ability to support life. We call it the entropy cascade. Only a resonant working with our technology might be able to stop it." Maya hugged Danny closer to her chest. "My brother is just a baby. He can't save a whole galaxy." "Not yet," the observer agreed. "But in time, with proper training and support, he could become the most important being in the universe. This is why my people are divided. Some want to protect him by taking him to our worlds. Others believe he should be eliminated before he becomes too powerful." The bridge fell silent as everyone absorbed this information. Danny made soft sounds that seemed to comfort Maya, and she realized that her baby brother was trying to tell her something. She listened carefully to his baby sounds and began to understand. "He says he wants to stay with his family," Maya announced. "He can learn what he needs to learn here with us. He doesn't want to go away." Observer Zeph-9's probe flashed brighter. "The resonant communicates through you. This bond is stronger than we expected. Perhaps there is another way to handle the situation." "What other way?" Captain Stevens asked. "I must report to the High Council that the resonant is protected by strong family bonds and that separation might damage his abilities. But I cannot guarantee they will accept this recommendation. Even now, a council fleet approaches your position. They will arrive in 2 days." Lisa felt her heart sink. A fleet? 12 ships, carrying representatives from the major worlds of the Confederation. They will want to see the resonant for themselves and make their own decisions about his future. Maya began to sing Hallelujah again, and Danny joined her with his baby sounds. The harmony they created filled the bridge with hope and determination. Everyone who heard it felt stronger and more confident. "Then we have 2 days to prepare," Captain Stevens said. "Observer Zeph-9, will you help us understand how to protect our people?" The probe's light flickered with what seemed like approval. "I will do what I can. The resonant and his family are remarkable. Perhaps they can teach the Confederation something about the true power of harmony." The 2 days passed quickly, and the Confederation fleet arrived exactly when Observer Zeph-9 had predicted. 12 massive ships appeared around the new Harmony, each one 10 times larger than the human vessel. Captain Stevens had spent the time preparing his crew for the most important moment in human history, but he knew they were completely outmatched if the aliens chose to use force. Lisa had made a difficult decision during those 2 days. She gathered the senior officers and told them the complete truth about Danny's abilities. She showed them recordings of Maya singing to Danny and the effects it had on the ship's systems. She explained how her son could somehow communicate with the alien probe and how his distress had warned them of the approaching visitors. The crew's reaction surprised her. Instead of fear or demands to study Danny, they rallied around the Martinez family. Chief Engineer Pete Johnson spoke for many of them when he said, "That little boy has been helping us fix problems and keep this ship running better than ever. If anyone wants to take him from his family, they'll have to go through all of us." Maya had been practicing with Danny every day, learning to better understand his baby sounds and the way he responded to different songs. She discovered that he could sense the emotions and intentions of people around them. When Dr. Clark approached with kindness, Danny will coo happily. When someone felt anger or fear, he would become fussy and the lights would flicker. On the morning the fleet arrived, Captain Stevens received an emergency message. Captain Rick Martinez was being awakened from hibernation. The computer had detected the alien ships and automatically started the revival process for the ship's commanding officer. Rick would be awake and ready for duty within 6 hours. Largest of the alien ships sent a communication to the new Harmony. "This is High Counselor Vex 7 of the Confederation of Worlds. We have come to evaluate the resonant child and determine the best course of action for galactic security. Prepare to receive our delegation. Captain Stevens responded carefully. We welcome peaceful contact with your delegation. However, the child you seek is with his family, and we will not allow him to be separated from them or harmed in any way. There was a long pause before High Counselor Vex 7 replied. Your position is noted but not accepted. The power of a resonant is too great to be left in the care of an undeveloped species. The child will be transferred to Confederation custody for proper training and protection. Maya was listening to this conversation from the bridge, holding Danny in her arms. She could feel her baby brother's fear through their connection. The alien ships around them felt threatening and cold, unlike Observer Zeph-9's probe, which had felt curious and hopeful. Captain Stevens, Maya said, I think we need to show them what humans are really like. Danny isn't just one person with special abilities. He's part of a family, and we're all part of a bigger family on this ship. Lisa understood what her daughter was suggesting. Maya wants to demonstrate that Danny's power comes from love and connection, not from being isolated and studied. Captain Stevens nodded. What do you need from us? Maya looked around the bridge at the officers and crew members who had gathered there. I need everyone on the ship to help. We're going to sing Hallelujah together, all of us at the same time. Danny will amplify our voices and show the aliens what humans can do when we work together. Dr. Clark was concerned. Maya, we don't know what effect that might have on Danny. He's still just a baby. He'll be okay, Maya said with confidence. This is what he was born to do. But he needs to do it surrounded by people who love him. Captain. Stevens activated the ship-wide communication system. Attention all crew members. This is your captain. In 5 minutes, we are going to demonstrate the best of humanity to our alien visitors. I want everyone on this ship to sing the song Hallelujah as loudly and clearly as you can. Our survival may depend on showing these visitors that we are a species worth preserving. Throughout the New Harmony, people stopped what they were doing and prepared to sing. In the engine room, Pete Johnson gathered his workers. In the medical bay, Dr. Clark's staff prepared to join their voices. In the cafeteria, off-duty crew members stood ready. Even the people who were supposed to be sleeping came out of their quarters to participate. Maya stood at the center of the bridge, holding Danny close to her heart. She could feel the love and determination of everyone on the ship flowing toward them. Danny looked up at her with his bright, intelligent eyes and made a soft sound that seemed to say, I'm ready. Now, Captain Stevens announced. Maya began to sing Hallelujah in her clear, strong voice. Within moments, 50,000 human voices joined her from every part of the ship. The song rose from the engine rooms and medical bays, from the living quarters and workstations. From every corner of their home among the stars, Danny listened to the massive chorus of human voices and added his own baby sounds to the harmony. As he did, something incredible happened. The entire New Harmony began to glow with warm, golden light. The ship's systems didn't just work better. They transcended their original design. The engines produced more power than should have been possible. The life support systems created air that was purer and more energizing than ever before. But the effect didn't stop at the ship's hull. The golden light extended outward into space, creating a protective field around the New Harmony. Where the light touched the darkness between stars, the space itself became more stable and healthy. The entropy cascade that had been slowly killing the galaxy began to heal in the area around the human ship. On the Confederation ships, sensors detected energy readings that their instruments could barely measure. The quantum harmonics coming from the human vessel were not just powerful, they were healing the fundamental damage to space-time itself. High Counselor Vex 7 watched the readings in amazement. This is impossible! A single resonant cannot generate harmonics of this magnitude. Observer Zeph-9's voice came over the communication channel. High Counselor, you are not seeing the power of a single resonant. You are seeing the power of a Resonant working in perfect harmony with his entire species. The humans have achieved something we thought was impossible. They have created a collective resonance field. The song continued for 10 minutes, with every human voice joining Maya and Danny in the ancient melody. As they sang, parents thought of their children, children thought of their families, and everyone thought of their shared hope for a better future among the stars. When the song finally ended, the silence was profound. The golden light around. The new harmony faded slowly, but the healing effect on the surrounding space remained. For the first time in centuries, this small part of the galaxy was free from the entropy cascade. Captain Rick Martinez's voice came over the ship's communication system. He had finished his revival process and was on his way to the bridge. This is Captain Martinez. I don't know what just happened, but I felt it even while I was waking up from hibernation. Whatever my family and crew just did, I'm proud of all of you. High Counselor Vex 7 requested permission to board the New Harmony. We must speak with the Resonance family immediately. What we have witnessed changes everything. Maya smiled down at Danny, who was sleeping peacefully in her arms after his first great performance. We did it, little brother. We showed them that humans are worth knowing. Lisa put her arm around Maya's shoulders. You did more than that. Sweetheart, you showed them that love is the most powerful force in the universe. High Counselor Vex 7 arrived on the New Harmony with a small group of alien representatives. They looked similar to Observer Zeph 9, with tall, thin bodies and large silver eyes. But they carried themselves with the authority of beings who had ruled among the stars for thousands of years. Captain Rick Martinez met them at the airlock, finally reunited with his family after months of hibernation. The aliens were led to the main conference room, where the Martinez family waited with Captain Stevens, Dr. Clark, and Chief Engineer Pete Johnson. Maya held Danny in her arms, and the baby seemed calm and curious about their strange visitors. The aliens stared at the tiny human child with a mixture of awe and disbelief. This small being generated the harmonics we detected. High Counselor Vex 7 asked. His voice was translated by their technology, but the wonder in it needed no translation. Danny doesn't work alone, Maya said firmly. He needs his family and his people. When we sing together, we can do amazing things. But if you take him away from us, he'll just be a scared baby who can't help anyone. High Counselor Vex 7 studied Maya carefully. You are the one who channels his abilities. We detected the connection between you during the harmonic demonstration. This bond is stronger than anything in our records. Rick Martinez stepped forward. He had been quickly briefed on everything that had happened while he slept, and he was still struggling to understand that his infant son had become the most important being in the galaxy. What are you asking of our family? Observer Zeph 9 spoke from his position near the wall. High Counselor, I have been studying these humans for weeks. Their strength comes from their connections to each other. If we separate the Resonant from his family, we will destroy the very thing that makes him powerful. Another alien representative, who had introduced herself as Counselor Yar 3, disagreed. The child's safety must be our priority. Among our people, he would have access to technology and training that could develop his abilities far beyond what is possible on this primitive vessel. Lisa felt anger rising in her chest. Primitive? Our son helped heal damaged space just by listening to his people sing. What has your advanced technology accomplished lately? Dr. Clark added her voice to the discussion. I've been monitoring Danny's development since birth. His abilities are directly connected to his emotional bonds with his family and community. Separating him would likely cause those abilities to weaken or disappear entirely. High Counselor Vex 7 was quiet for a long time, considering everything he had heard and seen. Finally, he spoke. The Confederation has faced the entropy cascade for over 1,000 years. We have lost entire star systems to the spread and damage. Our greatest scientists have been unable to find a solution. Today, we watched a human infant and his family heal space itself through the power of music and love. He looked directly at the Martinez family. We propose a new arrangement. Your ship will continue to your destination world, but with Confederation escort and support. We will provide technology to help your people establish their new colony quickly and safely. In exchange, your son will be allowed to grow up with his family while learning to use his abilities to help heal the galaxy. Captain Stevens leaned forward. What exactly does that mean? How much time would Danny have to spend helping you? Counselor Yar 3 answered. We envision a gradual process. As the child grows and his abilities develop, he would work with our scientists and engineers to develop new methods of harmonic healing, but he would remain with his family and his people. Maya looked down at Danny, who was making soft baby sounds. She had learned to interpret his communications, and she could tell he was trying to say something important. Danny wants to know if he can help save other children too. He's worried about alien children who might be sick because of the cascade damage. The aliens exchanged glances. They had not expected the Resonant to be concerned about their people's welfare. Your son would be honored among all Confederation worlds, High Counselor Vex 7 said. Children across the galaxy will grow up knowing that a human baby helped save their homes and families. Rick Martinez looked at his wife and daughter. This is a family decision. Lisa, Maya, what do you think? Lisa thought about everything that had happened since Danny's birth. If we can help other families keep their children safe, then I think we should try. But Danny's childhood and happiness come first. He gets to be a normal little boy who happens to have a very special job. Maya nodded in agreement. And I want to learn everything I can about how to help him. If he's going to be important to the whole galaxy, then I need to be the best big sister I can be. Dr. Clark had a practical question. What about the other humans on our ship? This affects all of us, not just the Martinez family. Observer Zeph9 stepped forward. We propose that your people become the galaxy's first harmonic shepherds. You have demonstrated abilities that no other species possesses. Working together, you could help us heal damaged worlds and protect developing civilizations. Chief Engineer Pete Johnson grinned. So instead of just being colonists on one world, we be traveling around helping fix problems across the galaxy? Essentially, yes, High Counselor Vex 7 confirmed. Your destination world would become your base, but Confederation ships would transport volunteer teams to locations where harmonic healing is needed. Participation would be completely voluntary. Captain Stevens spoke for his crew. I think I can speak for most of our people when I say that sounds like the kind of future worth working toward. Over the following days, the details were worked out. The new Harmony will continue to Kepler 442b, but now with a fleet of Confederation ships providing escort and assistance. The planet will be transformed from a simple colony world into the headquarters for galactic healing operations. Maya spent hours each day with Confederation teachers, learning about different alien cultures and the physics of harmonic resonance. She discovered that she had a natural talent for languages and could quickly learn to communicate with many different species. Danny continued to develop at incredible pace, but always surrounded by the love and protection of his family. 6 months later, the new Harmony arrived at Kepler 442b. The planet was beautiful, with blue oceans and green continents that reminded everyone of Earth. Confederation technology had prepared the world for human habitation, but in a way that preserved its natural beauty. Maya, now 13 years old, stood in the gardens of New Harmony City holding her baby brother, who was taking his first steps. Danny was walking much earlier than normal babies, but Dr. Clark said this was just another sign of his accelerated development. Other human children played nearby, learning songs that would help them work with the harmonic technologies dot in the distance. Confederation ships worked alongside human vessels to establish research centers where the two species could collaborate. The entropy cascade was being slowly pushed back from star system after star system, as teams of humans and aliens worked together to heal the galaxy's wounds. Lisa served as Admiral of the Human Confederation Joint Council, while Rick commanded the fleet operations that carried healing teams across the galaxy. Maya had become humanity's youngest ambassador, her unique connection to Danny, making her invaluable as a translator between human emotions and alien logic. As the sun set over their new world, Maya began to sing Hallelujah while Danny clapped, his little hands in time with the music. Other families joined in from their homes across the city, creating an evening chorus that reached up to the stars. The Confederation ships in orbit detected the harmonics and added their own harmonic frequencies to the song. On worlds throughout the galaxy, children looked up at the stars and heard the distant echo of the human song. They knew that somewhere, among those stars, a human family was working to keep them safe. The entropy cascade continued to retreat. Healing followed in the wake of harmony, and the galaxy itself seemed to sing along with the humans, who had taught it that love was the strongest force in the universe. Danny took another wobbly step toward his sister, babbling happily in sounds that somehow made perfect sense to Maya. She scooped him up and spun him around while their parents watched and smiled. The boy who would help save the galaxy was still just a baby who loved his family. And that was exactly as it should be.